we said this event before that, and so on. I know that it's difficult.
Just compare the view of container with the block universe.
Yes.
But that doesn't really go to the idea of relative time. I mean, block universe is two relative. Block universe we have two relative time and relative space. So shouldn't it be more closer to the idea of Leibniz, not Newton? You see that block universe is somehow something like the.
Well, block universe is like a container. If you think that block universe is not just a, you can think of. Sorry?
But in block universe we have relative time and relative space too. It's in current view of block universe we have relative time and relative space.
Yeah, it's like the rim of time. It's like if you think about block universe empty of events and objects.
There is no block universe.
No, for Newton there is.
Yeah, well, that's not the
But not for Leibniz.
Yeah.
So for Leibniz, when you look at the block universe with everything, when you look at all the things that happen, the block universe is not really an entity that exists. The block universe is just an event. It's just a, we draw something, and instead of saying this thing is in relation R1 to this thing, and then in relation R2, and infinite number of relations, we just draw the block. But it's not more than something of all this relationship between things. It doesn't really exist. Okay? The thing in the block exists, but not the block of Leibniz. The block per se. Okay. So Newton, we say that for Newton, space and time are absolute. And time is absolute because the now is the same for everybody, not like especially for Newton. And for Leibniz, we say that space and time are relational. Space and time exist only as relation between phenomena, reflecting the should be non-spatial temporal relation that exists between existing object and events. So for Newton, you can actually study space and time, and also for, if you follow Newton, it would be the same with general relativity. You can study the nature of space and time even without objects. If you study physics, sometimes that's the exercise. It's a simple space or simpler space and time than space and time with objects. So you start with space and time that is empty. But for Leibniz, it doesn't make sense. Once if it's empty, there is no physics to talk about. Okay. They also differ on the constitution of matter, what existed.
So when Newton thought that space has an absolute size, and time has an absolute size, so like all of space and time is impossible. Or all of space is
Yeah, as we see, we should see, that it seems that Newton thought that they are infinite. So think about infinite blocks in all 4 dimensions. Because otherwise there is a problem we will see with
Is this lecture number 5 or 6?
Okay. So Newton is an atomist, and he has no problem with the existence of vacuum. But if you're atomist, if you believe that there are atoms and the molecules and so on, and electrons and things that constitute the atom, most of space is empty. So actually, these are a very, very small percentage of space in time. And Leibniz follows Descartes in adopting the view, this some aspect of the view, that matter is continuum and there is a vacuum is impossible. So it's more like maybe a difference of density, but there is no vacuum. And both of them support mechanical philosophy, where explanation of natural philosophy are given in causal terms. So on that they agree, but on the atomism, we will see that in one of the arguments that actually Leibniz argued that Newton's view supports the materialist, because it supports atomism and vacuum. So that's a bad thing. Support the atheist, or those who are on the way to be atheist, or teach partially. Okay. Question? Wasn't technical. In causal terms, it means that you have to give a mechanism. When you want to explain why things happen, you have to give a mechanism. So that's the reason why action at the distance is a problem. It's not always like that. I mean, some people say that there is no causality in quantum mechanics. So the notion of explanation has changed since the 70s and 80s. Back then, a good explanation was a mechanical explanation, which is called. Okay. You want 5 minutes break now or after the, or in 10 minutes? Are you tired? It's continuation. Okay, so let's do a little bit more. So basically now we will go and see some more details. I mean, how these differences of view, play in the debate.
Can you explain again, I can understand the principle of identical indiscernibles.
So it
was exactly identical indiscernibles.
Okay, so it means that there cannot be two different things that have all the properties the same. So in classical physics, it's quite, it's a principle that is accepted universally because there cannot be two objects in the same point. So even if there are particles, even if particles are identical, they cannot be, because they are impenetrable, they cannot be in the same place. So the principle, in quantum mechanics, for instance, there are particles that have no position. They are nowhere. And they have all the properties the same. So these particles are identical. According to Leibniz, that's impossible. If you have such a theory, it's a bad theory. So it would be to say that they are identical particles in the sense that there is nothing that actually separates them, even though that they are in different positions, because they are not. They don't have a position.
They have probability of position.
They have, yeah. But most of the time they don't. Even if you locate them, then immediately after they not. So, according to, so it's to be is not to be somewhere. It's to be is to make a difference. But from where, no. It's like, to ask what is the position of the particle is not to ask where is my love to you, for instance. Is it here, here, or here? It's not a meaningful question. So, in some sense, it's like that. So, Leibniz would object to such a view because it's against his principle. Okay. So let's look at the correspondence in a little bit more detail, at least on some highlights of the first two letters and replies. There is much more than what we talked about here, but we will talk about the main issue. Okay. So first of all, Leibniz started to talk about the decay of natural religion in England. And he think that one of the principal reasons for the decay is the materialist philosophy that was revived in the 17th and 18th century. Actually, the materialist philosophy goes back to ancient Greece. Democritus and Epicurus, are known materialists. So they were the first atomists, that they thought that there are atoms that are small, the smallest things. They didn't think about electrons and all these things, but that they are the smallest things, and in between them there is a atom. The materialists suggested that the soul was material, so the soul is not what Leibniz and Newton and people who were religious, thought. And so the soul doesn't exist forever, for instance, like Leibniz and Newton think about. And this is a threat to natural religion. Some were even more threatening. For instance, some thought that maybe even God was a material thing. And some of the materialists, thought that there is no God, maybe. Or maybe they didn't want to say it explicitly, so they said that God is some kind of object. It's not an easy position to be an atheist. Now, Leibniz wants to say that Newton, natural philosophy, is one of the reasons for why materialism is flourishing, or at least there is a revival. So he has a number of arguments. One is related to how God relates to space and time and the objects in space and time. So it seems that Newton, at least some of his writings suggest, that he thinks about space and time as the organ that God uses to sense things. So Leibniz argued that Newton's claim that space-time is an organ which God may use to perceive things by contribute to the decay of natural theology. For if God stands in need of any organ to perceive things by, it will follow that they do not depend altogether upon him, nor were produced by him. If I perceive you, it means that you are independent of me, no? Otherwise I will be dreaming about it, or hallucinating, or something else. But to perceive is to perceive something that is independent. So Leibniz thinks that if you think about space and time as the organ of God, that God needs in order to perceive things, then God doesn't have the total control, and is not all-powerful as we could think about it. But that's obviously some support to those who think maybe that God is not what the taste think about God. All powerful. So that's one accusation that Leibniz started with. We will talk in more detail about it. Now just look at it. The other accusation is the intervention. That according to, we will see that in Newtonian physics there are a number of reasons why God needs to intervene in the world. And Leibniz doesn't like it. So he suggested that another reason why Leibniz's natural philosophy contributes to the decay of natural religion is that according to this natural philosophy, God has to intervene in the world. So Newton and his followers, including God, that's what Leibniz says, have a very odd opinion concerning the work of God, which further contributes to the decay of natural religion in England. According to their doctrine, God Almighty wants to wind up his watch from time to time, otherwise he will cease to move. he had not, it seems, sufficient foresight to make it a perpetual motion. Then, the machine of God's making is so imperfect, according to this gentleman, that he obliged to clean it now and then by extraordinary concourse, and even meant to mend it as a clockmaker made his work, who must be so much the more unskillful, the workman, as he is often obliged to mend his work and to set it right. It's written like in a polite language, but it's really kind of very, very heavy and tough. Basically saying the God of Newton is kind of not such a great thing. Cannot even plan on it in his book. And here Leibniz referred to a passage when Newton suggested God intervened in the universe. So there are different reasons. So one is that Newton remarks in his book on optics that it seems that God has to intervene in the world for different reasons. In different ways, for different reasons. God has intervened to prevent fixed stars from falling on each other, from collapsing, that all the universe will collapse to one point. We will see why in a moment.
Except our sun, yeah.
Pardon?
Except our sun and our solar.
No, everything. Also the sun.
Fixed stars.
Well, everything. Not only the fixed, everything. Basically, we will see. And God has to intervene to adjust the solar system from time to time due to irregularities which arise because of the disturbing influence of the other planets. Leibniz and Planck also interpret Newton as suggesting that God has to intervene to maintain a constant amount of motion. Like if you want, motion means like kind of energy or momentum, like conservation of momentum that there is. So in order to have the same amount of constant amount of energy and momentum, God has to intervene. So all these things, and we will see one or two other reasons, God has to intervene in the world, and sometimes, more often, sometimes less often, but Leibniz thinks that that's not the God, that we should aspire for, that glorify, religion, and that something is very wrong, which means that Newton, according to Leibniz, Newton has to change his natural philosophy. Has to have different physics. Okay, so we are a little bit under pressure today. Yep.
One question about all the stuff. What's the next new thing you said that everything that's addressed will stay addressed and everything that's emotional will stay emotional because something outside, right? What is the Newton's?
Yeah, it's the law of inertia.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
So, but if everything is already moving and we see movements around us, then it will keep on moving without the God, whether it's there or not. Does that make sense? Why does he think God needs to intervene? He himself says that the world will stay in motion.
No, it's not that it will stay in motion. They will stay in the motion that we have in the solar system. That's the problem. So it's like, it's like a clock. It goes, but then something gets wrong, and you have to mend it to get it back to the normal. Okay, so let's have a break for 5 minutes.